What's your favourite colour?
Um, Probably have to go with red.
What changes did you ask for at Ducati that you didn't get?
There were quite a lot of changes, and the biggest thing with Ducati that we found is that even perfect example, middle of 2008, we first tried the carbon chassis, and we begged and pleaded for it for the second half of the season. So we would have had a very competitive bike to try and win that championship. But there's no way we got it. We got a lot of things we asked for, but unfortunately 8 months late. And then by the time you needed the next thing, you'd have to wait for another 6 to 8 months. So that was the biggest thing we struggled with, and we just couldn't get what we wanted when we needed it.
How are you feeling about being a dad very soon?
Very happy about that, actually. It's something we've wanted for a long time now, and felt the time was right. So yeah, very excited.
What cars and bikes do you own and drive?
Got motocross bikes, so 250 and 450F, Montesa Trials bike as well, and a CB1000R, and then as a car we have a Range Rover.
Do you know if the baby will be a boy and a girl, and will she travel to races?
Yes, we do know, and yes, they will travel eventually.
What would be your top tip for day-to-day riders to improve their riding?
I think take it step by step. Very difficult to give a tip, one particular tip. But I'd say braking points. If you're going to go out on track, the best thing you can do is watch your braking points.
Would you ever be tempted in the future to go to Yamaha and try for 3 titles on 3 different bikes?
I'm contracted to Honda at the moment.
I knew you'd say that. How do you relax?
Basically anything away from racing, mountain biking, skiing like we're doing this year. I really enjoy my fishing, so there's a few things that I like to get out and do.
Do you feel that the sport is currently safe enough for young riders to come through to?
I think the sport's safer than it's ever been at this moment. The gravel trap's safety of the racing is extremely good, and just the way helmets, leathers, everything have come along is very impressive. So I think the sport's always getting safer.
Do you think Australian domestic racing can produce a world champion, or is heading to Europe still the best option?
I think even when you do come out of Australia domestic racing, you still have to go through Europe or another way. Unfortunately, I don't think the competition is quite high enough as when you come over to Europe. The style of racing is a lot different, and yeah, you do need to race in a lot of different areas to learn different things.
What are you most looking forward to doing with the baby? The person that wrote it in says she's most looking forward to getting her baby out on a push bike for the first time.
To be honest, just watching every stage. There's one thing I've learnt recently is to enjoy every moment and just enjoy every stage. His first smile, first word, first everything. I think.
Why was taking the number 1 so important for you?
Because I think it's the way it should be. If you're world champion, I think you should almost be forced to run number 1. I think there's only been 2 people in the history that haven't taken the number 1 plate, and I think it was just because they thought it was unlucky. So I think number 1 plate's definitely the way to go.
How would you make MotoGP more competitive?
I think it's very difficult to do it now and turn it around completely. More competitive. I think they need to bring competition tyres back instead of a single make tyres. I think they need to stop changing rules all the time and just have one set of rules and let everybody play it. Probably reduce electronics and the amount that they have, because always the development and data that goes into that is increasing costs a lot, even the amount of mechanics you need for a team. So I think there's quite a lot of things you need to reduce in MotoGP, and also bring back competition to bring back sponsors and hopefully get the price down and get the amount of riders back up.
How have you managed to ride around problems that you've had on both the Ducati and the Honda?
Difficult to say. There's been different issues, and each race it's a different issue. But I think it's just the fact that you need to adapt. It's the biggest thing is not to be proud and always blame the bike and the machine. The best thing to do is try and adapt yourself, and if you make a mistake, you've got to be disappointed with yourself. It's not always the bike, and I think that's the biggest thing you can do is just look to yourself if there's nothing else you can do.
At Phillip Island, we have Gardner Straight and Doing Corner. If there was going to be a turn named after you, which one would you want it to be?
I think everyone's been saying turn 3, and I'd probably have to agree. It's one of my favourite corners in the world, and I absolutely love going through that turn. So yeah, that'd be great.
What's your favourite beer?
Don't have one, to be honest.
And you say that. I think that's it. Oh, will being a father make you more cautious as a rider?
I don't believe so. I think I know what I'm doing out on track there, and sometimes we do have to push the limits quite a lot. But most of the time, when mistakes happen, it's just a lapse in concentration or having to push through something. But most of the time, we ride within our limits slightly, and I don't think being a father will change me too much.
And do you think Rossi on the GP12 will be a threat this season?
I'm hoping for Ducati's sake that they're going to be competitive. I think without Ducati, the championship is looking a little difficult. I think there needs to be more manufacturers up the front pushing towards the podium, and I'd really enjoy to see Ducati back up front again.